guys, we got this. Let's go. Gun wide trips weak. Pros X go. On one. Ready?
Ready.
What's going on, everyone? ANCAP24 here from HuddleGG. In today's video, we're going to show you some hidden motion that exists in Madden 21. Now, if this is the first time checking out our channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell notification to make sure that you never miss any of our uploads. For today's video, we're going to be looking in the run and gun playbook, something that I really like and want to make sure that there's a couple formations that can illustrate this point a little bit easier out of one playbook. So that's why we're going to go into it, okay? So the first formation we're going to look at is the Gunwing flex offset. Those that have been following this channel and are people that are part of our HuddleGG family know that I love this formation because I've done the Gunwing slot offset out of the Seattle playbook as my first game plan of the year. Now this out of the run again is exactly the same. The only thing different is that the left two receivers, they are different positioning on the field. One of the slot on flex is on the line of scrimmage, and the slot when you're doing against the gun slot offset is off the line of scrimmage. As simple as that. What that does is it changes the way you can do motion. And that's one of the things that I want to talk about in this video. There's a hidden motion here in which we're going to take advantage of. We're going to show you a couple other formations and kind of just get you to understand that you should be looking at your own playbook to see what you can find in order to kind of get your wide receivers to line up in different spots to kind of change the way you can do some plays. Okay, so let's get into this. And the first thing I want to show you guys is that motion sometimes is different depending on what hash mark you're on. Now, not all the time is it that way, but sometimes it is. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to left hash mark. If I motion this wide to the right, what you're going to see is that he goes all the way to the outside, nothing special, right? So I want to make sure you see that. Now, if I motion this wide to the left, what ends up happening is he actually goes in between where the A and the B is. So here's me motioning him to the left, and he's going to stop in between the A and the B. Now, you kind of have a nice compression bunch set to the right-hand side, which is going to affect the way that you can run route combinations. You get them all compressed. You can see that the Y is now a slot receiver, so he's going to get all those slot routes. So if you wanted to put him on a corner route, and do something like this to where you're, kind of just working some angles and different things, you've got some nice route combinations that you can put together, right? Now, if I was to put this on the right hash mark, I want to make sure that you see that when I test any formation that I'm in, I'm always going to see what the routes are, where they're going to go. On the right hash mark, he goes to the outside. See how now we're still in bunch, but he's on the outside, right? So I want to make sure you understand that depending on the hash mark, depending on the motion, people go in different spots. Now, why is this, what is a practical way of using this? Not only can you create different route combinations from different spots, what you can do is change the leverage or change the positioning of players, okay? Let me give you an example. So if you look at this, you can see that we're in man coverage and the player above Y is in a prime position to bench press him, right? We've got bench press all over the place in mud. It's something that I'm not sure it's as prevalent in regs, but it is something you got to worry about in mud, right? Well, if I motion him to the left, I want to show you the different positioning in which this player is, okay? First off, they back off. If they repress, see how we've got inside leverage now on him? Just because of the way that he is lined up, he can't be lined up where he is. So just put him on a drag, and what you're going to see is that you're going to have the ability to basically just work the outside here and get unpressed, right? If you have somebody that's got a lot of speed, you've got the ability to kind of put a route combination to where, let me press these guys, okay? You have a route combination to where maybe now you're putting the A on a spot to where we're trying to, put them on an out route, an A on an out route, just something to where we can go ahead and, for some reason I can't change it, but something to where we're trying to get the player to not have as much leverage on them, right? So you can see how we're just getting this drag all day long because we're inside, okay? Now that's a benefit of it. Obviously you saw benefits of it to where depending on what you want to run, depending on where the guy goes, you can kind of set up some different route combinations that are really nice, right? Like we showed you this one over here to where this guy goes to the outside. He's got a nice outside breaking route. If we want to do something against, let's say, a cover two, you're going to have a nice opportunity to have the crosser to the left on cover two. You're going to be able to have the RB open initially, and then you're gonna have the Y open up underneath. So I can throw it to this guy, you know, the Y. There's just a lot of little things that you can do that you can open up the way you can run your offense by using these motions, okay? So now let's go to the next one. Just wanna make sure that we kind of make you understand what the motion is and what can be a benefit of it, right? Trips tight end is also in this book. And trips tight end is one that I've shown in the past, but not a lot of people know about this. So let's just pick a play. I'll pick something like something fun that's different than any other playbook. PA crossers, okay? Not found in any other corrupt. But you can see that this Y, that if I motion him left, he's going to settle right to the outside of the hash marks. See that? So again, you've got the ability to kind of put him on some fun things. We can put him on a crosser. You know, something to where it's very predictable where he is. Now, if I want to put him on a streak, that's going to be a lot easier for me to hold the safety on a cover 2 beater. Okay, when you can also do this when you motion, but when you motion, the guy has a delayed route. Okay, this, when he settles, is going to be in a full-on sprint right away. So let's see if I'm in cover 2. I can't remember what I'm in right now. Yeah, cover 2. Okay, so something like this. What you're going to see is that guy's going to be a full sprint. He's going to push back that safety that much further and give you that much opportunity to throw it. It's not that the guy won't do it when you motion. It just takes him longer to get there, because if you're doing the right motion, we're going to do the same exact thing here. If we were doing the right motion, watch, he's behind the line of scrimmage, and he's going to kind of delay before it goes up the field, right? Now he's waiting. We could still do it, but now you're losing about 1.5 seconds worth of opportunity to get the guy open quicker, okay? Now, what if we're on the right hash mark? Where does that guy go? I want to make sure you see it. He's actually going to go to the bottom of the numbers, okay? Now, this is important because when he goes to the bottom of the numbers, now what you're going to do is you have an ability to use that player there to now affect the outside player. So say somebody's in a cover 3, where normally they would be out about 4 or 5 yards more wide. Now we're going to be able to get this Y to take the cover 3 down the numbers, opening up the ability to hit the A a lot easier, right? Because he's going to be taking that player away, and now we're throwing this ball over here, right? Instead of, that's what this happened here. If I was to move him and motion him to the right, I want to make sure that you see, you know, move this guy all the way to the right, same route combination against cover 3. Okay, see how wide he is? That's going to keep the cornerback wide, right? So that's going to make it that much harder to hit this A, hit this A, hit this A. And now you're going to see that this guy, you know, it's a much tighter window. So that's why I want to make sure that you talk about alignments. Things are different, right? I'll show you one more example. And this is going to be just kind of an example that's a little bit less when it comes to extreme, but something I just want to make sure that you understand, that this does not have to be just across the formation, right? So something like this is gun doubles. If I motion this Y to the left, this guy comes in, and you can see that these guys are nice and tight, which is great if you want to do something where you want to put the X on a streak, kind of like a cover 3, where you want to make sure that you get that outside corner to run the numbers with them. But if you're going against a cover 2, what you want to do is you want to do it the opposite hash mark. And what you're going to see is that when I move him left, the left guy goes out. And when the Y goes to the line of scrimmage, and what ends up happening is now the Y is going to basically take the outside player further back, giving us more room to turn up the field. So just the alignment itself is something that when you play with, you're going to have the ability to just make your plays be that much better by using these motions. So this video is more or less not giving you setups, not giving you, you know, direct plays. It was more about getting you to go into your own playbook, look into seeing what type of motions you can do and how that affects the alignment, how that affects play calling, and find some hidden gems. I know there are plenty of them out there. I know in other playbooks, I didn't want to go through each one that I've ever found, but each year, you know, there's more that pop up that you didn't see the year before. Just kind of crazy the way it works. But definitely check your playbook. Go in. Every time I ever lab a formation, the first thing I do is I go on the left hash mark. I motion every player I can left and right. I go to the middle of the field, do the same thing, and then do the right side. That way I know exactly what I'm working with every single formation when I start labbing it. And that's something you guys should be in the habit of, especially if you got favorite formations, because there's those things that you may not know that exist that could help your game. So I appreciate you guys watching this video, and we'll catch you on tomorrow's as well.